Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so you friends see it. Thank you.
Just as he arrived in Pheonix, Trump looked out in crowd and saw a miracle. This is an absolutely touching moment. A group of bikers for Trump gathered in front of the president to pray for the safety of everyone that came to the event. They then prayed for the protesters to stay peaceful and for attendees and their families to stay safe. Amen. Trump needed the protection today, too. The leftist organization John Brown Gun Club showed up to the rally with AR-15s and bulletproof vests. They said they were there to protect protesters from white supremacists. The Bikers for Trump traveled to Pheonix to defend Trump supporters from violent leftists and the Antifa gangs that have attacked previous Trump rallies. The rally attendees showed up hours early to go see the blockbuster rally in Pheonix, Arizona. President Trump is going to make this country great again. You can feel it in the air. Let's say a prayer to keep our president safe. God, please bless and protect President Trump and all that around him. We need him to heal the country and make jobs for the working class of America. With us behind him, he can't fail. Amen. Share this prayer with every Trump supporter you know. Sean Hannity eviscerates anti-Second Amendment liberals using the shooting in a passionate rant. Sean Hannity finally said what we are all thinking about liberals who using the Vegas tragedy to attack the Second Amendment. And tonight, some are even calling for the shredding of the Constitution and the eradicating or our Second Amendment and our right to keep and to bear arms. Now, take a look at this headline from the so-called conservative New York Times writer Bret Stephens, who is also a contributor over at that conspiracy so-called news network, MSNBC, quote, "Repeal the Second Amendment," said Hannity. If people like Michael Moore, Bret Stephens, you really believe in repealing the Second Amendment, here's a simple question I need you to answer. God forbid for anybody, someone breaks into your home. Well, you have your family, your wife, your children. Would you want a gun? Asked Hannity. Would you want to have been trained in the use of a firearm and its safety to protect your wife and family? Now, what Bret Stephens is doing is shameful. He's using this massacre here in Vegas to push a liberal agenda. One that is not constitutional. And it's pretty obvious at this point that he's only pretending to be a conservative, said Hannity. Now, these Hollywood liberals like Moore such huge hypocrite when it comes to the issue. How many live in those gated communities? How many can afford private security? How may buy the best and most expensive security systems, but yet they would disarm law-abiding citizens who can only rely on themselves to protect their families? Asked Hannity. Do you think he's right? How dare you? Judge Jeanine crushes Hillary for what she said after Vegas shooting. As soon as the Vegas shooting ended, Hillary Clinton went on Twitter to politicize it. Las Vegas, we are grieving with you, the victims, those who lost loved ones, the responders, and all affected by this cold-blooded massacre. The crowd fled at the sound of gunshots. Imagine the deaths if the shooter had a silencer, which the NRA wants to make easier to get, tweeted Hillary. And worst of all, our grief isn't enough. We can and must put politics aside, stand up to the NRA, and work together to try to stop this from happening again. Judge Jeanine Pirro crushed her for this. Hillary, there's a reason you lost the election. As Americans come together, you seek to divide, not sympathize, not empathize, showing just how hollow a tin man you are. In your desperate attempt to be relevant, you go after gun owners in the NRA, when this guy wasn't even a member of the NRA, said Pirro. Wait a minute, the NRA and the GOP? How dare you connect law-abiding citizens exercising our Second Amendment rights to a mass murderer of innocent civilians? "How dare you call us complicit with a whack job misfit who is the epitome of evil," said Pirro. "I don't want to hear about your politically correct or your opportunistic nonsense. There's a time and place for everything. And it's time for you to go back into the woods," said Pirro. Unstoppable Trump just revealed secret plan to force Congress to build the wall. President Donald Trump made some major points very clear last night in his huge rally in Phoenix, Arizona. He let them know he is sick of McCain, tired of the media pushing racism and hate, and oh yeah, one more teensy, tiny thing. Trump threatened to shut down the government if they don't approve the border wall. Trump made himself very clear when he told the audience of thousands of supporters, "If we have to close down our government, we're building the wall." He didn't stop there. The president unleashed a fury of fire on the obstructionist Dems for refusing to even talk about the border. "Let me be very clear to Democrats in Congress who oppose a border wall and stand in the way or border security, you are putting all of America's safety at risk. The American voters did vote on a border wall when they voted on Trump, so it is unfair of Congress to obstruct it so vehemently. If they don't, then just remember we the people have the power to get someone else to take their job." So, now the best thing to do is help get the president's message shared at the everyone everywhere and comment "Build the wall." Midnight Massacre. What Trump said about McCain and Flake last night will end them both. President Trump's rally last night in Phoenix is driving the liberals up walls, around corners, and through roofs. The leftist media is literally trying to find a way to twist it into something racist, and everyone is seeing them for the frauds they are. However, it wasn't just the media Trump took down last night. He also took an epic hit out on Arizona Senators John McCain and Jeff Flake despite some bigwigs telling him to back off. President Trump exposed how both Arizona Senators McCain and Flake betrayed the Republican Party. Trump revealed to the crowd that somebody told him not to be mean to other Republicans. They all said, "Mr. President, your speech was so good last night, please, please Mr. President, don't mention any names." So I won't. However, Trump is not just gonna sit back and get bossed around. He is the president, after all. So what did he do? He took aim on McCain. One vote away, I will not mention any names. Very presidential, isn't it? Clearly, he was talking about McCain ruining the Obamacare repeal effort by turning on his party at the last second. Trump was not done yet. Next, he went after Arizona Senator Jeff Flake, who has tried to make a career out of hating Trump. "Nobody wants me to talk about your other senator, who's weak on borders, weak on crime. So I won't talk about him." It's worth mentioning that Flake knows he is running a doomed campaign for 2018 after he turned on the party and voters rejected him. But hey, they gave Trump a set of rules so he followed them exactly as they were written. Do you think it's time to vote these loser senators out? Share this everywhere and let's get some new Republicans in 2018. Right on time. George Foreman just delivered a knockout blow that'll leave Trump sharing. George Foreman just proved himself to be a true friend of President Trump, coming to the defense of the president and reminding everyone about how great it is to be an American. Washington Times reports the boxing legend was interviewed on the Offended America podcast on Monday, and came out swinging when he was asked about other professional athletes protesting the national anthem and the president, saying, "I love the United States. The protesting athletes haven't been brought up with people who were patriotic, a lot of people died so that they can have that privilege." He went on to say that some of the protests begin at least in part from attention seeking. "Today, there's nothing to sell about anyone. A lot of guys say, 'Look, I got all this money but no one knows me.' Boom. Do not mess with George Foreman. I think a lot of today's athletes can learn a thing or two from him. Foreman also talked about President Trump. Foreman has known the president for decades. In the early 1990s, Trump helped promote Foreman's fight with Evander Holyfield, which the boxer credits for helping him bounce back from bankruptcy. Foreman said of the president, "I'll always be grateful for the entrepreneur Donald Trump, and now President Donald Trump. I'm sorry, you have to be careful nowadays. He's a good president. A lot of people don't like him, but evidently more do because he's the President of the United States. I had little and hardly no hope at all. What a privilege." He promoted that show down there. George Foreman is a world-class athlete, businessman, and patriot. Honestly, it is nice and refreshing to hear a celebrity actually say something nice about the president for once. Let's get his message directly to the president by sharing this 50,000 times. HT Washington Times. With one sentence, Tucker Carlson shook liberals across the country about what Trump just accomplished. If you still have any liberal friends or family, you must have seen it. I know I did, and it was quite annoying. You know, that picture of President Trump looking at the sun on 2017 Eclipse Day, with his naked eye, with some sort of joke about how stupid he is. Tucker Carlson decided to take advantage of the situation, by trolling the libs, to make a point of just how gullible they are, to just about anything. On Fox News Live Monday night, Tucker called Trump's act of looking directly at the sun the most impressive thing any president's ever done. Twitter went bananas. Just click on the link at the end of the article, to see all the tweets, showing just how gullible the libs can be. His rant is all about how President Trump's behavior, in all things, is not different than that of a small child. I'm so over the libs and their own childish behavior. Never in all my life have I seen more sore losers. I appreciate Tucker for calling them out and making them look like what they are. If you agree, let's get this shared everywhere, with the comment "Thanks, Tucker." H. T. The Daily Caller.